Alrighty guys, we are back, and if you didn't let it go, make sure you do that. It was a great song before any of you doubt me. I heard you guys doubting. Don't doubt the music I play. It's phenomenal, alright? Let it go. We are almost ready to get underway, so let me just drop you guys in there. And as we now know, it will be Team Dignitas up against Epsilon in the other semi-finals. Find out who'll be joining MYM in the next round. So, impressive game. And I thought I'd give you the real action here. Which is with these lovely little bots. I'm really hoping he doesn't say something obscene, and that's not a good letter to start with. No! Dignitas are very violent as a team. This is why Dogbert is their manager, I feel. Yeah, we are just going to wait on these teams to get ready. Obviously, I was holding up a little bit. My game decided to not really want to work, but we are now moments away from getting underway in the second semi-final here, which is still a best of three. Obviously, Dignitas making it through up against Pyrogen, who are actually quite highly placed at the moment, doing very well for themselves. And Epsilon tied at the top. So, Dignitas certainly have a way to prove themselves here. Dignitas, you know, a very strong team. Very, very strong, but their opponents are one of the best. What he was going to spell furious. I'm not sold. Dirty Bojangles. Not sold. Goddamn scumbags of Dignitas. Alrighty guys, we are almost ready to get underway here, so let's actually see who's on what side. So the Chinese side will be Team Dignitas. Let me switch that around. There we go. And the Russian side will be Epsilon. I probably will get told off for playing Let It Go in between the show, but I feel it was a very important factor here. And we are almost ready to get underway on Railway this time around. Good luck, have funs have been said. Let me just leave that like this. Let's have a look to see what these guys go for here, because we've seen some great starts, and we saw Dignitas on this map yesterday, certainly looking very good, and I love this initial play coming out from these guys. So they blow up a lot of the exterior walls, should I say, and then take over the site. So C is near and always gifted over towards the Russian side, which is Epsilon. And well, Dignitas have to seem to work for it now, because at the moment they've managed to walk away with A, and if they can get the convert towards B, they're in a good position. But right now, they are being held in place. Jerk playing the rooftop game more than anything. He does catch a glimpse of the enemies, but ooh, gets punished down very low by the likes of Marzu. And just to give you a little bit of an idea of who we're watching while these guys do get into the action. For Dignitas, it's Jerk, Jaquili, Masu, Frantic, and Sneaky. For Epsilon, Marzu, Horek, Asterix, Duke, and David. So yeah, at the moment, I'd say on score, you know, Dignitas aren't on quite par with the top teams yet, but we'll see how they do here. They're very much hot on their heels. Very solid team. This is a very good way for them to prove it. So they are going to go for the exchange down towards that C site. Frantic gets himself in there. Getting the tag, getting the frag as well. That's Horek down, so they should be able to claim C for now. No one really there to challenge. Oh, actually, tell a lie. Duke was laying in wait, but he got picked up in the end. But in the meantime, Dignitas have lost out on A, so it's going to be a 2-1 hold in favor to Epsilon very early on. Sneaky watching the push up towards those rooftops, overlooking A and B, so he's going to hold on to that, which is a good position to be in. But Jerk needs to win this one-on-one up against Marzu, and he's going to lose out. Not being able to maintain the presence within this school building may cost him a lot of control in between these two sites and make it even harder to push in, as that's come to the forefront there, as he does manage to take down Masu, not Marzu. Those two names are going to kill me. Absolutely kill me, these absolute bastards. But still, B is being challenged. We do have these players in the site, but we know that Marzu's not too far away, but so does Jaquili. Nade goes up and over. Doesn't get the connection he needs, but he should be able to cap this over anyway. But we are seeing Dignitas now forming a bit of a reply. Horek comes in towards the top of that rooftop, dives straight in there, gets tagged up on the way down. 30 HP, he's being challenged, but you can see the teamwork already kicking in for Epsilon. They've been able to turn over that B site, keep hold of it, and push Dignitas back towards C, and they're just getting mopped up on the street. Jerk trying to take away their cover, trying to nade in, but every single peek he makes, he's got a face full of bullets coming back towards him. He's been taken down in the end, and this could be a good spawn for Jaquili. He's got a good shout towards A, but teammates seem to want to hit up that B site, and Jerk and Sneaky going down, it's not going to make it any easier. He could wait for some respawns here, as two of those players are down. Actually running with two engineers. Interesting choice. rather than the normal maybe 1 to destroy a lot of the cover and remove the cover game that could be played. But we are seeing a one-man breaking through, which is Jerk. He's going to try and take away as much from the cover of the opponents as possible, but he is stuck with a little bit of time to switch back from that, and he gets punished in the end. So this could be a trip cap coming in for Epsilon, who are looking very dominant so far. Dignitas just being a little bit outplayed at the moment, I've got to say it. They need to get in the swing of things this time, as Marzu just spotting them out, keeping them in place, making sure he doesn't lose track of these guys and they can't cross too easily over towards the sites, and allowing the likes of David and Horek to get the shots through, and that's exactly what they're doing. So Dignitas struggling to make it down towards that C site and trying to claim that as their own, as the nades are going up and over, but it's not been an easy pickup with Horek just kind of trailing around on the side there. He's going to be causing trouble, and actually Epsilon are really making sure they keep hold of this, and an interesting choice, the CZ in the hands there of Marzu, not the sniper rifle CZ, but the rifle there, and looking for a way around, but the back spawns for Dignitas did give them B. Bit of an over rotation actually from Epsilon, leaving A and B unguarded. First man round will be Marzu. Let's see what he can do here. He's looking for a way in towards the site. B is going to be challenged, and the fire rate off this gun is superb, so he does manage to take down Jerk close range, but no one else falling into that trap just yet. He does get picked up from the side in the end, but Dignitas just really struggling to maintain these sites. They're holding on for now, but you can see those tickets are so damn low. Dignitas have just been really outplayed at the moment, I've got to say it. Epsilon look to be claiming back this B site. Sneaky's picking up the frags as much as he can. He's got the first, he's got the second. Good play from Sneaky there, making B truly costly to Epsilon. He's going to go for the hat trick. Doesn't get it just yet. Nade will come out, and that's lovely work from Sneaky. Holding it back, getting the respawns in. Maybe pushing a little bit too far now, but he's feeling confident. He's got the Magnum to hand and doesn't land the shot, and this will stay in the hands for now of Dignitas, but I feel as though it's a matter of time before he gets taken back over. Jaquili tucks in behind Asterix, gets punished for that, and now David and Epsilon are just swarming over B. Horek picking up the kills, and it's been a clean sweep, leaving Dignitas back towards C. A and B staying in their hands. I've got to say it's a little bit of a worrying sight for any Dignitas fans, because this could be a triple cap coming out, especially if Duke can buy time on this side. He did pick up the tag, not going to get the frag, but I love the way Horek's been playing as well. Not playing directly on the side, but being a pest on the cross, always getting the spots in, always making it costly towards the opponents. That's exactly what he's done. He's buying so much time, so Sneaky could not just cross straight over towards that B site. They now know where they're heading. They've been able to send 2 players down towards that left flank and actually get a good couple of kills in, but 25 tickets is not a lot to be working with for Dignitas. They're now struggling. They need to find a couple more. They need to get maybe a trip cap. They need to get something, because Marzu is ripping them to shreds. 2 kills back to back, holding down this B side now with Horek and David. And Dignitas once again struggling to maintain just C. 21 tickets now left on the board here. That is getting dangerously low. Any kill now will hurt them. And Jaquili not being able to find a way back through. And beat them like they stole something. Seems to be a little bit of a maybe not the most PG-13 phrase, but it's certainly applicable right now, because Dignitas are struggling. They found a route, but it's never a safe one. And you're seeing it right now. 2 kills back to back, coming in for Epsilon, keeping hold of A. And Jaquili's like, sod it, I'm going to try B. Gets denied as well. And everything they're trying to do is just coming down around them. Frantic does what he does best, getting the kills, but it's not enough to change the odds here. There's 2 tickets remaining to the 119. I'm sorry, Dignitas, that was not a very good start for you guys. They are now going to be looking at a huge ticket deficit coming into the second half on this one. 117. Good halves are said, but I'm not sure if Dignitas will be feeling that. They'll be probably feeling a little bit down and out, to be fair. But hopefully they can do some damage. It's all about learning your opponents and get into the right position to do so. But look at this scoreboard. 14-5, 12-4, 13-8. These guys barely died. And David and Asterix were, playing smart. They're playing safe. And, well, this is looking a little bit painful for these guys. I've got to say it. It's not a pretty sight. And considering how well Dignitas played yesterday, they took down Pyrogen. You could argue Pyrogen did only have 4 players on occasion, but still, it doesn't sound as impressive when you say that. I want to see a little bit more from these guys. They're so talented, and they're great with these little robots that run around, but right now they're struggling to find their footing here against Epsilon. There's a reason Epsilon are at the top. It's because they're a damn good side, whether they be, the team they are now or even previously with previous lineups. They've always been so damn good. So, Dignitas now up against a deficit of 117, or looking at it this way, if Dignitas drop below 117, that's map 1 over very, very quickly. And Railway can be a very punishing map. A solid 2-1 hold, and especially if it's the A and B sites, you can pretty much rope people down to just C and work those tickets away from them. So, uphill struggle to say the very least. Let's get back in game. And if you want to check out this headset, I'll try and get you a link at the end of the stream. It's a Sennheiser one, it's a studio quality one, and they're a lot of money, to be fair. It's looking towards the, I think, 400, 500 bracket, but still, back in the game. Enough of that. Dignitas will be on the Russian side, the Chinese side will be Epsilon. And I'm curious to see how they start this one out, because I see a lot of teams running with quite set up starts, I think is the best way I can put it. I want to see if they do something here, and actually it's normally Dignitas who do something very similar to this. If they had a this jerk, maybe, yeah, and they're doing the same thing. They destroy the buildings around them towards B and A, makes a route for Frantic, and he allows him through. So that's the same start they're going for here. Frantic does get a real boost coming out towards this one, but he's going to be challenged out by Asterix in the end. It's a 2-hold already coming in for Dignitas. Good work from them. They could be getting a trip cap. This is a brilliant strategy off the very start here. And we did say, you know, 117 tickets is a lot, but, you know, if one team can do the same, they can do the same again. You know, and they're holding this triple cap. They've held it. They've got 3 sites in their hands off a perfect start. Phenomenal stuff coming out from these guys, and if Dignitas do get set up, they can be very dominant. And, you know, right now we're going to see them put to the test here, because the A site is being challenged. Epsilon sending 2 players here already. Jaquili pulling his attention away from B towards A. Could be costly in the end, but Sneaky's done the damage elsewhere, but it does look like A has been overpowered by the opponents. But still, 117, not too far away. They need to keep their eyes on that. Obviously, round by round is the way you look at it, or kill by kill, ticket by ticket. And at the moment, you know, Dignitas holding a 2-1, that's perfectly fine for them. If they can get back to the form they started with, perfect play. But let's see if they can, because C is now being challenged. Only Sneaky here. He got the double last time. I think it's a bit of a tall order to ask for it again, but he's going to have to try and do it. He pushes in, he gets the heals, but those nades are just knocking him down, and he knows his players here. They're losing out on C, and they cannot lose a site like this. They must maintain a 2-1 at all occasions. Frantic splits off by himself, catches a glimpse of one of the players, but he gets taken down in the end. But Jerk is there. Jerk to save the day, and he's done just that. But have they left the forces a bit too thin by B? No. They've been able to split Masu down by A. They're going back in for the trip cap, and they could very well get it. David is slow on the rotate, but oh, he does catch Masu in the end, but it's a 2-0 hold. He's not been converted over just at the moment. And they're doing very well. Horek, though, looking to do damage. 138 to 107. This is a great start for Team Dignitas. They can be proud of this so far, but they need to keep maintaining it. They need to keep this up. They need to just stay completely focused. One moment to let it slip like we're seeing right now. It's going to come down to A going either way. Horek and David exchanging, doing what they can. David goes down. This will stay a 2-1 for this moment at least. And let's be serious here. Dignitas can pick up C again. They're doing brilliantly. This is a brand new team. If only they could have done this at the start, it would have been a very different outcome. And I said, you know, the 2-1 holds are generally quite secure, but they're going, oh hell, let's get even more. And Jerk back in this position. I love it when he plays this spot. He's generally phenomenal at it. We saw him doing it yesterday, and he's just a constant pain to all the players over here, and it's allowed Frantic to push up. I can imagine Sneaky won't be too far behind either. No, he's not. He's there as well. But they may have overly pushed. They may have got overconfident. They've left Masu here to try and hold on to the back road. Now, Jaquili has to react accordingly. He has to play smart, because he's going to be on his own by B. Masu going down has opened up the A road. They could lose out on this side. He spotted one of the players, but no one else there to really help him. Jaquili has to be careful. He's going to be losing out on this. 135 tickets is going to be whittled down pretty damn quickly, as C is looking like it's going to be maintained by Epsilon. B is down to Asterix, winning out these one-on-ones. Nate, oh, just about catching him there, but he's been taken low. No one challenging either. Dignitas are going to be holding a 2-1 in the end if they pick up this C site rather than B, switching this one around, but the respawns from Epsilon are coming in here. Duke doing the work towards afar, not worrying about who's in hand, and they may need to be, because Masu is on the side. He's got the tag, not the frag. Spins around, looks to follow up. 127. It's not far off. 10 more tickets left on the board for Dignitas. They've been so strong, but this 2-1 hold against them could be truly costly, as now they're having to ramble back and scramble every single resource back towards this one site on C that normally is left to the dogs. But they've done enough to draw them away from the B site. Masu and Sneaky can now come in for the reclaim. I can imagine it's Jerk over here, now sitting in. looking to get the information, piling through, and 120 tickets, they're so close now. 76 against them, that's a big, big chunk to overcome, but it's still a 2-1, but now respawns are everything. This is the point we've been waiting for. They need to make every single right choice here, and at the moment, they're going to be struggling, because here comes the onslaught. Sneaky goes down, Horek splitting off towards the right. Masu keeps the kills coming, 119 to 69. It's going to start getting a little bit low for the opponents, but any wipe, anything that comes against Dignitas right now will be so costly. It will cost them this damn map. But Masu, perfect peek, finding Duke, 118, one more ticket. They cannot afford another respawn. Frantic now going aggressive. He goes to the pickup. He catches Duke. He gets Duke down. Multi-kill for Frantic, but it's allowed David in a great spot. One more ticket. It's all they can afford here. But they're fighting right down to the wire. But David's pushing in. They're down to the mark. That's all they can afford. It could maybe be a draw, but I highly doubt that. 117 to 54. It's gone too late. It's gone too low. And sadly, Dignitas could not do enough. But what a brilliant game to start out with. This is unbelievable play coming out from these guys so early on, but if only they could have done that a little bit sooner. I feel this could have gone either way. It could have been a really different landscape on this map, but it wasn't meant to be, and they struggled on the first half. So it'll be going into the next map here. We will be waiting to see what comes up. I'm not too sure on the map pool. I missed that one because I had to run downstairs to check on another show at ESL, you know. It's almost like things don't always run smoothly. Who'd have thought it, right? Esports. But we will be waiting on that next map coming up. But so far, Epsilon with the first map. But we look at the second half of how the railway went down. Dignitas looked really, really comfortable. But I know that's a good map for them. I know they're very strong on that. And they were playing their set plays that work against the very best. It caught out the likes of Pyrogen, who are top 3 within this so far. They'll probably slip down after this cup to maybe top 5, but still a very solid team. So Dignitas can do it, but they just came off, with this weak start in the first half, and 117 tickets is near on impossible to turn around. You saw them trying with all they had, but one solid 2-1 hold, and you're going to be struggling. No two ways about it. So Zavod will be coming up next. All dem aces. But don't be mean to the ace, man. We're just going to wait on Zavod to load up. But give me your predictions. I asked you in the first game. I didn't really ask you guys in the second game, but obviously I still want to hear it. Make sure you tweet through to me at They Call Me Pansy with your predictions of who's going to be in the grand final. So far, we know MYM's there. They managed to take out Fnatic. A great result for them. But will it be Epsilon? Will it be Dignitas? Tweet through to me and let me know who you think is going to be going forward, because I love hearing from you guys. And I do want to remind you, we still have a special guest on the way for the following up game. Not going to tell you who it is just yet. I'm going to just Skype them right now. Be like, hey, we're in the second map of the second semi-final. And as I said, special guest coming up pretty soon, but we are now ready to get underway in the second map here. And I'm not sure what to expect, because you look at the first map, you say, well, by score alone, Epsilon trashed it, dominated it. But then you look at the second half and very, very different kind of look. So we've got a lot of Epsilon fans out there. They're feeling good. They're feeling confident. So Dignitas will be on the Russian side. Yes, my overlay is correct. Go overlay. And on the Russian side, it will be... on the Russian side, it will be Dignitas. On the US side, it will be Epsilon. It's weird seeing America being red and Russia being blue. I don't know why. Anyway, let's have a little look at the start. We have a 2-man split. Now joined by 3 by Epsilon towards B, but it looks like it's going to be going Dignitas' way for now, unless those kills start coming in. But an early standard start. But look at this play from Frantic straight in towards C. Dignitas looking like they want to cause trouble towards Epsilon very early on here. Make a bit of a nuisance of themselves, and getting a respawn in. That's going to make hard work for Marzu. He's going to have to nade into there. Gets the kill. Good work. Takes down 1, but will he expect the second? Jerk's still here, but Jerk gets eliminated. And now we are seeing C going their way. And now Juquilli left in a world of trouble. Duke looking for that kill. He's going to find it in the end. He's going to claim over this side, get the revive, and it's going to be a 2-1 hold. But can they maintain? Let's find out. Coming in towards the site here. And there is no special guest. It's not Jason Kaplan. He is downstairs doing another product right now. I said it was a special, but why was there just a gigantic team killed? Dear Lord. Everyone just kind of went a bit crazy there and killed their own. Not sure what happened, but still, it is still going, and Horik still fighting, finding 2 there during the underpass, looking towards C. C is still neutral. It's not being capped over by either side. So Epsilon sneaking around the back here could really catch out the opponents, and actually they're going to be doing it, and this could be a triple cap. This could be a trip cap coming in for Epsilon, and that is bad news for Dignitas. We saw what happened before when, you know, the likes of Epsilon start getting that ball rolling. It's not going to be a pretty sight, but Jerk still doing what he can. Still fighting hard for Dignitas. In towards that site he goes, looking for any opponent he can find. It's going to be his teammates catching those bullets first, and they've got C, but it's not going to be an easy one. There's still players around, still trying to find these shots towards their opponents, but Masu, great positioning around the back towards B. 2-1 hold at the moment in favour to Epsilon. Certainly could be... Oh, he didn't expect the push. He's been caught off guard. He gets picked up in the end by Asterix, and his B's going to stay in their hands. But Dignitas' back spawn could give them A if they play it correctly, but right now, Epsilon are making it hard work to rotate through mid towards any of these sites. So A and B, a very unorthodox hold. It's going to make it really damn hard work to get back into this one. I don't see them doing this, but still. But look at Duke's positioning. I want to talk about this in a small way, that he's literally watching mid, holding the push-up. He does get taken down in the end, but that's smart play from him, but he just got outgunned then, sadly, by looking the wrong way, but it's Sneaky doing the damage, and we know this man can be the bringer of frags, and that's what he's doing right now. So A, going to Dignitas. C, going to Dignitas. And these spawns should support A. They've got a good foothold towards C. But now it's where do Epsilon focus their attention. They've got 2 players over by A, 3 holding on towards B. That's a little bit of an overcommitment to my eyes. Maybe expecting an aggressive push coming back out from Dignitas, but actually Epsilon taking their times. You know, they've got enough tickets to work with, but they can't take this for granted. Dignitas, once they get into the swing of things, we saw them on the first map. So let's find out how they deal with it right now, because Masu and Sneaky are finding these kills. Finally, Horik does get the payback underway and takes him down, but let's see which side they're going for. I want to check in with that scoreboard at the moment, because 1 man by B. They're waiting to see where this push forms. Getting the random spawn towards Duke is going to be vital. He can put pressure towards A, draw these people away from mid. Because I think Epsilon wants C. They don't want A. They wanted that C side, but they don't have the players now here. And Horik is being rotated around the back from him. He's going to take down one, but he's got to be careful. There's a player hot on his heels. It is Frantic coming in through mid. Looking for the pickup. Doesn't find it just yet. Sneaky goes down. Oh, perfect play in mid. Coming out from Epsilon. Horik doing real damage, but A is being threatened. Epsilon picking that up. B now going either way. Marzu wins out the 1v1, and it's a 2v1 on C. This could be a triple cap. This could be Epsilon being dominant again. They took their time, but they won those mid battles, and they may give up A. They may say, all right, you guys take that back, but we'll take the trophy sites of C and be comfortable here. But I'm not sure if they expected such a quick push through mid from Dignitas. Frantic, still here. Bring out those nades, but he doesn't expect the challenge from David so quickly. But Dignitas, they're trying. They really are trying to find a way back through, but I've got to say it, against Epsilon, there is no easy path, and it always seems to be this 2-1 hold, no matter how much work Dignitas try and put in. I love that nade just bouncing off the tank there. A little bit of a ricochet coming through, and bouncing shells, that's a fairly legitimate thing in you know, tank games and tanks in real life. Look at that go. Realism. Who'd have thought it? But Dignitas, in the meantime, while I've been talking absolute nonsense, have powered through towards B. 2 players on the site. Marzu is waiting in the wings, though. Maybe... Oh, he spotted out 2, maybe 3 actually. He could have caught a glimpse of every single player from the opponent's hit. And I tell you time and time again, information is king. But look at this. Every player wiped from C. This is troublesome. This means Dignitas have a good shot of evening the score here. 2-1. B cannot be touched yet. C should go their way. But Epsilon looking hungry, looking for a way back in, but get shut down in mid. A will be their last bastion, as Sneaky is being the pest that he can be. Jerk gets found on A, and Epsilon trying to find a push off the back of this. 1 man plus, just playing a little bit more defensive. Marzu. Asterix working through mid. And I've got to say it, Dignitas and Epsilon are both brilliant at this mid sort of gameplay. They just play it so well in between these rubble and ruins, but Asterix comes out better there, picking up 2 kills back to back, and Horik now can pick up the mantle and carry it on. Running with the ACWR, interesting choice actually. Not maybe orthodox, but the fire rate seems pretty damn sexy on that gun, so fair play to him. Nice couple of respawns in, and it might be time to challenge C, and look, from the rotate, here comes Duke coming in from the side. This is going to pincer in Dignitas. They may not expect this attack on all fronts, but it's Dignitas holding on. Jaquili did the damage, but Marzu still stands. We he's being overwhelmed by Dignitas, who hold on to C by the skin of their teeth. But they're looking to make sure it hurts the opponents by taking up this B site. But I want to once again reiterate the point. They cannot hold down a 2-1 for long. Dignitas are struggling to maintain the damage that Epsilon can cause once Epsilon get in the swing of things. Once they get that 2-1 hold, they're comfortable, they're feeling good, they're feeling safe. And well, at the moment, it's a close game though. Frantic spots out one on the respawn, doesn't find the kill surprisingly on towards Duke, and this will be staying in a 2-1 hold towards Epsilon here. And these guys, once they get this 2-1, as I was saying, they get comfortable. They just, dig in deep and make it really painful to the opponents, and Dignitas not finding an easy way through here. Dignitas are leading overall in the kills right now by 1, currently wiped off the board by David and Asterix, actually picking up 2 kills back to back, but you gotta look at the tickets here. This is a difference, and no hating on Pugs. 43 to 79. That's a big deficit there between these two. And obviously, you look at the first map, 117 was a lot bigger, but still, if it gets closed out at this sort of marker, we know how devastating Epsilon's setup holds can be, but we are seeing a final real commitment from Dignitas moving in towards that C side. We've got 3 players at least present here. Jaquili doing the work, Jerk coming in, but he gets tagged up, dropped down from the people rotating off that B side, knowing he would have been hit. But look at this, just Marzu now alive. He's trying to do what he can. He's holding on for his dear life. He's surrounded. He goes down. And the last man alive really would be a member from Dignitas. And it'll be Marzu joining him, or Masu, should I say. And they'll get a 2-1 hold, but will they maintain it? Big exchange goes down. Sadly, Duke wasn't alive long enough to be able to make that one really hurt by switching over the side. But still, 2-1 can even this back up. This can change. This can certainly turn around either way. Masu coming off the side finds one on the cross, taking down David, opening up the B side for a possible counter push if they lose out on A, but they're holding on to it. Sneaky is doing the damage and doing it damn good. He finally goes down in the end to Duke, but not before buying enough time for Jerk and Jaquili to come back through. And in the meantime, Masu pushing in, trying to pick up B. Not going to happen too easily, but Frantic picks up the mantle, but backs away in the end, getting those respawns towards it. And now Frantic dancing between those nades, bringing this one back close. B is not theirs, but it's not an uncontested site in the very least. Big kill taking down David then. Duke does follow suit. Jerk holds on for Dignitas. 2-1 is not budging. 19 tickets left, but they're working on it. They're doing what they can. The tickets are getting low, but still, this is a good hold so far. This can work it back. They need to keep hold of this. They need to keep these tickets being painful for the opponents. But Epsilon making their stand, making their push. C is theirs right now. Unless one of these players can do something incredible, they're all down. And Dignitas have a terrible spawn for this. They could not challenge B. They could not challenge C. They could be held back at distance. And they could lose out on these final tickets they worked so hard to keep and maintain. 8 left on the board, and they're just trickling between their fingers. And 7 is left. Jaquili doing what he can. Been a big factor towards the side at the moment, but not big enough right now. And there we have it. This is pretty much game at the moment, I've got to say. I normally call it a little bit early, but still. 37, a lot better than 117, I think we can all say here. So, not a terrible half for either side. I think it got very close at the end once again. I don't know what it is with Dignitas. They seem to just be like, we'll play casually until those last couple of minutes and moments, and then we'll become absolute monsters. That's what we'll do. I don't know. If it works for them, it works for them. What should I say? But still, Epsilon do have the advantage of 37 tickets. They do have the first map under the belt. This could be over in 2 maps if Dignitas can't pull something through here. But then again, I look at the second half of the first map, Railway, and it did turn around, but this is not a map that's as easy to just flip on its head by a good start or a set strategy. It's a lot harder. It comes down to those one-on-ones that completely and honestly were being won by Epsilon. Let me just throw you in game so you can see this. 16 to 11, 16 to 12, 17 to 14. It was a big case of out-fragging coming in for the opponents there as well. Epsilon are great team players. I'm not going to say they're not, but even better individually on occasion. They become absolute monsters when they have to. So, uphill struggle coming in now. Let's see what they can do. It is now pretty much crunch time for Dignitas. This would be perfect for them. It could boost them into the top 5 after Pyrogen going down, but I'm not sure. I'm not sold. Let's see what's going on. So, Epsilon will be on the Russian side here, so let's switch that over for you guys. Dignitas will be on the US team. And, well, it's going to be a hard game for both teams, but at the moment it looks like Epsilon have just been that little bit more dominant. Let's see what sort of start they go for here. So, we are into the game now. Epsilon going for the standard start, 2 through the main section. 1 spin off towards A to claim it, but a light commitment from Dignitas actually towards B. Not sending 3 players, just 2, so they may lose out on this one if they're trying to go for the flat-out exchange, and giving Epsilon the early advantage may not be your best of options, I've got to say it. That's not sold on this start from Dignitas, but let's see if they can win over these one-on-ones. So far, they're doing well here, actually. Only Asterix left alive on B, and this could be a good turn of events. They've picked up C, and they have got the hat-trick. They've got the trip cap. They've done what they needed to do, and this was the perfect start for them. As we said, it's not exactly a big deficit of tickets. It's only 37. It can be changed. It can be worked on. And Epsilon, they're struggling here. They've finally broken through by B, but that's the only site, really. C has still got 3 players from the opposition present. We've got 1 man in mid. And I think they're just going to try and work from the pivoting site of B. That's their plan right here. They're going to try and play this one smart. Try and find their best options. Horek. Towards C, gets those early nades in, but Jerk and Masu in mid, making it very hard work for any player to come in towards the side. David gets picked up as well. Good ticket lead coming out for Dignitas, pretty much, negating the lead that was previously had by Epsilon. So if they can keep hold of this now, they'll start getting back into the lead overall. So let's see what they can do. Dignitas firmly holding on towards C, but they may lose out in this, underpass towards C position because Jerk is now alone and he's got players left, right, and center. It's not looking good there for them. That should be C going back into the hands of Epsilon, but there's a quick counterplay coming out from the likes of Jaquili. Pushing in. B and C both up for grabs. We know these are 2 ideal complementary sites, but Epsilon are going to have to make up their minds because they're getting trip cap in. This is a painful sight for any Epsilon fan. They are not performing the second half, and once again, I don't know what it is with Dignitas, but they seem to just turn it on when they get to this point where it's like, okay, our backs to the walls. Let's start playing some real good Battlefield here. At the moment, they're getting the kills back-to-back. David finally saving the day with a nice double grenade. They're taking down Jerk and Jaquili. Masu holding on towards C. Duke going for the split by himself. He's pretty much one of the only man up for the opponents. Or Dignitas, should I say, or Epsilon. And they're getting very low, and they're being locked down point after point. A is the only side they're being able to maintain at the moment, and that's just because, really, Dignitas aren't pushing for it. So brilliant start from these guys. 88 tickets left, and it's getting lower now. Epsilon going to need a big turnaround here if they want to pick this one back up. David trying to gain some presence through mid. He loses out on the 1v1. Revenge kill gets picked up by Duke, but there's immediately a reply from the opponents as well. Double comes through. Epsilon, though, trying to get themselves ready to challenge on the C side, but it's not good enough. They're not finding their way through here. Horek gets one, takes down Jaquili, but they're still struggling. Finally, they get in towards this side, but is it too little too late? Jerk's already looking at A. He's already eyeing this one up. They've got a player holding on towards B as well, so the only threat towards Frantic right then was the fact he was very low on bullets. But now, here comes the threat. Here comes Epsilon with a 2-1 hold. This is the difference here. Let's see if they can be a little bit more dominant now. They get back into the swing of things. They need to immediately be ready to play out that smart game. Because really at the start, they were fairly passive towards this. They didn't have the dominance we know them to have. And right now, mid is being won by Dignitas, and that's not going to help. David has snuck through by C. Looking in towards the cap point. Is anyone there? Yes, there is. There are players waiting. There's Asterix picking up the kill. The deficit may be slightly minimized, but still, Asterix and Frantic are in trouble. Jaquili goes down to the crossfire, but first player comes in. You can see one off the flank. That is Jerk now, nading down. 70 tickets to 122. Still very close, but a 2-1, as we keep saying. Now to Epsilon. This is where they become their own bit of a beast. Jerk goes down, picked up by Duke. 68 to 118. These tickets need to start falling back into Epsilon's hands if they want to get this in 2 maps. rather than 3 if that's what they were going for. And Duke being a monster is certainly going to help. He's going to pick up kill after kill, making the damage as painful as possible. And Horek in a perfect position. If they lose out on one of these sites, he can make a counterplay. He's going to do it. He was like, okay, pressure's getting a bit too much through mid towards C. Let me get on A. We might lose out on the C side, but Duke's holding on. He's doing what he can here. The one-man band picks up Jerk, and his teammates pick up the rest of the kills. It's going to be a triple cap for Epsilon. This is where those tickets just start flooding away from the likes of Team Dignitas. This is where the change up happens. This is when it hurts, because now they've got to kind of make their mind up. So do we go for a split? Do we send 2 and 2, maybe 3 and 2? Or do we go all in for one site? They've got to choose quick, because 91 tickets is not a lot. They're only left on 37. So now Jerk still playing smart. He's going to pick this one up. Challenged out by Horek maybe towards the end. He's going to go for the push, not the immediate challenge. He's going to go for the retake here. Smart play. He's trying to eliminate where this player may be, but Jerk does save the day. So 2-1 still. Epsilon enjoying the fact that the tickets are just flooding away from these guys. Well, kill after kill going to Epsilon is not going to help. This is when, tickets start mattering, kills and revives start really coming into effect. And B staying in the hands of Epsilon for so long, and C being defended by just 2 has allowed the likes of Duke to just constantly be this rotating player. He used to do this as well, and he can still do it just as perfectly as he did in previous times. 66 pretty much tickets, almost even between these guys now. They have lost out on the A battle, but now it's going to come down once again towards C. Nades coming through, not looking good there, and well, we do see these guys struggling, but good work going through with the pistol in the end. And it may just be maintained, but there is one man in amongst the wolves. It's Jerk again, doing everything he can for his team, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. He's been in the perfect positions with Frantic, but they've got to win these one-on-ones, and there's 4 players from Epsilon on this side. You're not going to win against those odds with one man. Sadly, and it's going to be this 2-1 hold, 54 tickets. It's getting dangerously close to Dignitas bowing out in the semi-finals, and Epsilon going through to match up against MYM. A game that I think a lot of us will be looking forward to seeing. A lot of rivalries there being built over the previous seasons. Asterix now piling back down, trying to keep hold of the site. They're outnumbered, outgunned, and at the moment being outkilled as Frantic does find one, gets shut down in the end. Epsilon coming piling back through because they know B is in trouble. Good backspawn for Horek, should claim in this side, but 37 tickets is the marker. The US side of Dignitas is so close to it. A is a big side to be holding on to right now. They're putting 2 players towards it because they need it. B's fairly safe, A is not, and this couple of kills coming in for Horek may have just gifted them this game. 42 tickets left. They're going to start falling away from these guys. They're in a position to pick up B and C, but they just can't really push across without dying. 37 tickets. The limit has been reached. 1 ticket below. GG, well played, should be said any moment now, because there's not much else to do in this situation, sadly. Dignitas letting it slip a little bit too far. And well, let's see if they can pull anything off in the end. Just want to see how they play this one out, because credit to them, they tried the best they could. GG is eventually said by Frantic and Jerk. And it will be, ladies and gentlemen, Epsilon going through to the finals to meet up with MYM in another best of 3 battle. And I'll be revealing who that special guest will be joining me in just a couple of minutes' time. So guys, we're going to go to a very, very quick break. But when we return, we have the grand finals coming up. MYM up against Epsilon. Big upsets coming out of this tournament. No Fnatic to this point. No Pyrogen. There's a lot of teams slipping into Cup 3. But let's find out who will be walking away with the prize and that first place position. So guys, do stay tuned. We'll be back in 5 minutes.